Welcome to Betty B's Tumbler Academy that nobody asked for. On today's lesson, what actually goes into a handmade epoxy tumbler. Because honestly, judging by some of the conversations I've seen on the internet, people seem to think we buy a cup, throw some glitter at it, spin around 3 times under a full moon, and somehow end up with a finished tumbler. If only it worked like that. Every tumbler starts out as a plain stainless steel cup. And at that stage, let's be honest, it's got all the personality of a tax return. Then we have the prep work. The sanding, the cleaning, the wiping, the checking, the rechecking. And then the checking again because you've convinced yourself you've missed a spot somewhere, even though you've already checked it 14 times. Then we get to the fun part. Colour, glitter, decals, alcohol inks, fancy effects, and then the occasional questionable creative decision made at 11 o'clock at night. You know, the artwork. Then we get to resin, and this is where things start getting interesting because resin really isn't a craft supply. Resin is more like a hostage situation. Measure it wrong? Problem. Mix it wrong? Problem. Look at it funny? Yep, somehow you've also got a problem. And don't even get me started on the weather. Too hot? Problem. Too cold? Problem. Too humid? Yep, you've got a massive problem. And a single speck of dust floating peacefully through the air, that little bastard's been waiting all day for this moment because the second resin goes on, every dust particle within a 5-kilometre radius gets a notification. And then in come the bugs. Now, I don't know what bugs think resin is, but apparently it's irresistible. I've seen flies perform manoeuvres that would impress the RAAF just to land in a freshly resined tumbler. Then the cup goes on the turner and it spins and spins and spins some more. Not because we're trying to hypnotize it, because gravity is an absolute bitch and it will expose every mistake you've made. Then comes the curing stage, which is where makers suddenly develop separation anxiety. You know it's curing, you know it takes time, and yet somehow you're still checking it every 10 minutes like a newborn baby. Then we have quality control, which mostly involves holding the tumbler under about 17 different lights, turning it slowly and whispering, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Even when there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And honestly, that's because the truth is a handmade tumbler isn't just a cup. It's part artwork, part science experiment, part emotional support project, and part test to see whether a fully grown adult can leave anything the fuck alone for 24 hours. So whether you're a customer admiring the finished result or a maker currently engaged in a heated argument with a piece of glitter, I see you and I support your journey. This has been Betty B's Tumbler Academy. Nobody asked for. Join me next time for more information nobody asked for, but you're getting anyway.